seat. Just let the back of the hands rest on the knees, bringing the index finger and thumb together. Close your eyes, sit up nice and tall. And just turn your attention to your breath. Expanding the body on the inhalation. Pull the belly back to the spine on the exhalation. And then turn your palms down and begin to make small circles moving through the center of the body, going clockwise to start. And just gradually let the circles get bigger. And then slow the circles down. And come back to center. Take a nice big breath in, elongate through the spine, lift up through the crown of the head. Exhale all the air out and start to make circles going counterclockwise, moving through, again, the center of the body, adding shoulders. And then slow the circles down. Placing your right hand on the mat beside you, turn the left palm up. Inhale, sweep the left arm up and over. Take a nice big stretch through the left side of the body. And release. Placing the left hand on the mat beside you, sweep the right arm up and over. And release again. Turn both palms up, inhale, reach up. Interlace the fingers, rotate the wrists, press the palms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, press the air away. And turn the palms up again, inhale, reach up. Bring the hands together down through heart center. Interlace the fingers, rotate the wrists, and press the palms towards the front of the room. And then release both hands behind you. Open up the heart, pressing the palms firmly into the mat, stretching out the front of the shoulders. And come back to center and start to walk yourself forward, coming into cross leg forward fold. And walk all the way back up and come to hands and knees. Coming into tabletop position. Inhale, lift the face as you drop the belly down. And then exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin as you come into cat pose. And just start moving back and forth in cat and cow, lifting the face as you inhale, rounding the spine as you exhale. Feel free to add any additional movements. Maybe swing your legs around and look back at your ankle. And then swing your legs around the other way. Whatever feels good to you as we continue to warm up for our yoga practice. Walk your hands forward, coming down on your forearms. Bring your hands together in prayer. Press yourself forward so your shoulders are stacked over your elbows. Tuck your toes and come into forearm plank. And start to walk your feet up towards your elbows, dropping the crown of the head down between the elbows, and start to walk out the back of the legs in dolphin pose. Step out and back with the right foot and lower your left knee to hovering. Bring the right foot back to meet the left. Step out and back with the left foot and lower the right knee to hovering. And then bring both feet back, knees go wide. Drop your knees down on the mat. Placing your toenails on the mat behind you, press yourself back until you're in child's pose. And take a nice big stretch here as you let your ribs sink down between your thighs. Bring your hands together in prayer. Drop your hands behind your neck, stretching out the back of the arms. And drop both hands down again. Press yourself back into tabletop. Inhale, lift the face for cow. Exhale, round the spine for cat. Tuck your toes and make your way into downward facing dog. Walk out the back of the legs. Shift your gaze up to your hands. Step your feet up in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let your head hang nice and heavy. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, sweep the arms up, coming into extended mountain. Palms shine towards each other. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, set your shoulders and lift your heart. And come back to center and sit back into chair. Stand all the way up into mountain pose. Active fingers. Nice long spine. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands come together, down through heart center, and sit back into chair again. We'll add a twist. We're going to drop the left elbow to the right knee and shift your gaze sideways. And then change sides. And come all the way back to center. Stand all the way up. Reach up with both hands, keeping the palms pressed together. We all tilt to the right together in crescent pose. Back to center. Tilt to the left. Come back to center. Bring the hands together down to heart center and step your right foot into tree. The foot can be above or below the knee, or the heel could rest just above the ankle with the toes on the floor. When you're ready, start to grow your branches. And release your hands behind you in reverse prayer. And release. And step out of the pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up again. This time the hands come behind you. Interlace the fingers, extend the arms long, and fall forward. Release both hands down to the mat. Step back into plank. Suspend yourself here in plank for a moment. And then lower down into chaturanga. Come forward and through into baby cobra. Big toes come together, knees go wide, and make your way back into child. When you're ready, come back to downward facing dog. Step the right foot off the mat about halfway up. Put your left hand in front of your face, roll to the outside of your left foot, and sweep the right arm up and around for kickstand pose. And then release both hands down to the mat. Come back into downward facing dog. Step your feet up in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands come together, down through heart center, and step your left foot into tree. When you're ready, start to grow your branches. Bring the hands together behind you in reverse prayer. And step out of the pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you. Interlace your fingers, extend both arms long, and fall forward. Release both hands down to the mat. Step back into plank. Lower down through chaturanga. Forward and through into cobra. Press back into child. Make your way into downward facing dog. Step your left foot off the mat and about halfway up. Plant your right hand in front of your face. Roll to the outside of your right foot and sweep the left arm up and around. And release and come back to down dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands come together, down through heart center. We'll step out and forward with the left foot. Excuse me just a second. So we set up for warrior one. So the hips are pointing forward, so make your stance wide enough that both hips can be pointing forward. So we pull the left hip back as we press forward with the right hip. And then we bring both arms up into warrior one. We'll add a heart opener, bringing the hands together in prayer. Lift your heart, pull the elbows back. Feel the shoulder blades come together. And then reach back up again. Keeping the fingers interlaced, extend the index fingers long. And then bow forward over your front thigh. And then release your hands down to the mat. in pyramid pose. Put your right hand to the inside of your left foot and sweep the left arm up and around for revolved triangle. And then release both hands back down to the mat. Hop up with the back leg and come into standing splits. And step out and back with the right foot, coming into runner's lunge. And find your balance and make your way into high lunge. Roll both arms down to the floor. Step back with your left foot. Lower down through chaturanga. Forward and through into cobra. Press back into child. And then make your way back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands come together, down through heart center. Make a 45-degree angle with the left foot. And step out and forward with the right foot as we set up for warrior one on the other side. The right knee is stacked directly above the right ankle and bring the arms up. Hands come together, interlace the fingers, drop the elbows, widen the front of the body. And then come all the way back up with the arms. Extend the index fingers upwards. Straighten the front knee and bow forward over the front thigh. Come into pyramid pose. Plant your left hand to the inside of your right foot and sweep the right arm up and around for revolved triangle. And then release both hands down to the mat. Start to work your right foot to the middle of the mat. Then hop up with the left leg and come to standing splits. Step out and back with the left foot and come into runner's lunge. Find your balance and make your way into high lunge. Roll both arms down to the mat. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Lower down to chaturanga. Forward and through into cobra. And press back into child. And just pause for a minute here in child. And make your way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the right leg up off the ground for three-legged dog. Bring the right leg forward and through, and make your way into pigeon pose. If you want, you can fall forward into sleeping swan. Press yourself all the way back up. We're going to change the stretch in the hips. We're going to go ahead and just extend that right leg straight out. Square off to face your right hip and fall forward again into wounded warrior. Come all the way back up. Swing both legs around. Coming back into tabletop. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. Right arm comes under and through from thread the needle. Come down on the right shoulder. Rest your forehead on the mat. And press yourself back into tabletop. Inhale, lift your face for cow. Exhale, round the spine for cat. Tuck your toes and make your way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the left leg up off the ground for three-legged dog. Left leg comes forward and through into pigeon. If you want, you can fall all the way forward into sleeping swan. Push yourself all the way back up. Let's change the stretch in the hip. Extending the left leg long into wounded warrior. And then fall forward over the left hip. Start to make your way back into tabletop. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Left arm comes under and through for thread the needle. Again, come down from the left shoulder, extending the right arm long. Press yourself back into tabletop. Tuck your toes and come back to downward facing dog. Step your feet up in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands come together, down to heart center. We're going to cross the right ankle just above the left knee and sit back into figure four. The stretch, fall forward. And then release. And step both feet together and come up on your tiptoes and squat down. All the way back up. Place both hands underneath your feet. Step your toes up to your wrist line. Come into gorilla pose. Pull up through the sit bones. With the head hanging heavy. Release. Firmly plant your feet into the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands come together. Down to heart center. Cross your left ankle just above your right knee. And sit back into figure four. Again, if you want to deepen the pose, fall forward. Step your left foot down to meet your right. Come up on your tiptoes and squat down. And come back to forward fold. Hook your big toes with your index finger and middle finger. Start to pull your chest in towards your thighs. And release. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands come together, down to heart center. We're going to set up for warrior two. So the right foot's going to be in front, and the left foot will be behind. The right heel is in a straight line from the right heel to the arch of the left foot. Bend your right knee, bring both arms straight out. Here we'll move to side angle pose. So we're going to drop the right hand down, reaching up with the left arm. And then we'll move to extended side angle. So slide the right forearm down across the right thigh and stretch the left arm up and over the ear. And come back to warrior two. Cow face arms with warrior two legs. So the right arm is going to come behind, the left arm will come up and over. And then come back to warrior two. Turn the right palm up. Drop the left hand to the back of the left thigh and sweep the right arm up and over for reverse warrior. Here we'll move into triangle pose. So we go into peaceful warrior first by straightening the front leg, and then bring your arms down and around and come into triangle. And come back to warrior two. Sweep the right hand back to meet the left, extend both arms long and fall forward into humble warrior. And release your hands to either side of your right foot. Pivot the left foot so you're in runner's lunge. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Drop both knees, elbows in, shoulders back. Straight line from the knees through the shoulders. Drop the chest down on the floor. Inhale forward and through into upward facing dog. And then press back into child one. The knees stay together in child one. We just fall forward, dropping our forehead down to the mat, letting our arms rest alongside the body. And make your way back to downward facing dog. Step your feet up in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands come together, down through heart center. We'll set up for warrior two on the other side. So this time the left foot's in front and the right foot is behind. The arms come straight out. Warrior two will move to side angle pose. So we're going to drop the left hand down as we reach straight up with the right arm. And from here, move to extended side angle. And come back to warrior two. Warrior two, legs with cow face arms. Bring the left arm under, right arm comes up and over. Back to warrior two. Drop the right hand to the back of the right thigh. Sweep the left arm up and over. And here we'll start to move into triangle. So we slowly straighten the front leg as we lift up with the left arm. And then we're just going to drop the left hand down and bring the right arm up. And then come back to warrior two. Sweep the left hand back to meet the right hand, extend both arms long, and fall forward into humble warrior. Reach your hands to either side of your left foot. Pivot your back foot, right foot, so you're in runner's lunge. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Drop both knees, elbows in, shoulders back. Drop the chest down to the mat. And forward and through into upward facing dog. Then press back into child one. And come all the way up. And swing your legs around. Extending the right leg long, step the left foot to the outside of the right thigh and pull the right knee in towards the chest. And then wrap your your left knee with your right arm and turn sideways. Back to center, guide your left foot into your right hip crease and just gently press your left knee down in seated half lotus. And swing the left leg around in seated half hero and walk yourself down your thigh. Come all the way back up. Go ahead and swing the left leg around and step your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. Sit up nice and tall here, pull the knee in towards the chest. And wrap your right knee with your left arm, shift your gaze sideways. Back to center. Guide your right foot into your left hip crease and just gently press the right knee down. And swing the right leg around into seated half hero and walk yourself forward. Come all the way back up. Come on your backs. Bring your feet to the outside edges of your mat and just drop the right knee in and then alternate, drop the left knee in and just go back and forth with windshield wiper legs. We'll end by dropping the left knee in. Bring your feet back to the middle of the mat. Press your palms firmly into the floor beside you. Inhale, lift the hips up in bridge pose. And then start to work the arms into it by interlacing the fingers underneath the lower back. Lifting the hips up a little higher as you pull your shoulder blades together. And release the hips back down to the floor. Pick your hips up, move them 1 inch to the right, look down your right shoulder and drop both knees to the left. For supine twist. And bring both knees back to center. Realign your hips so they're back in the middle of the mat. Pick your hips up, move them 1 inch to the left, look down your left shoulder and drop both knees to the right. Move your hips back to the middle of the mat again. Pick your hips up, tuck your hands underneath your lower back, and extend both legs up towards the ceiling for supported shoulder stand. You can also use a block here if you have one, or you can go into full shoulder stand if you'd rather. And feel free to add any additional movements that may feel good to you today. And slowly with control, start to lower your heels down to the floor. Pick your hips up. Move your hands out of the way. Stretch your arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers. Extend the arms long. Stretch yourself as long as you can. And then bring both knees into the chest, rocking back and forth on the spine. Point and flex the feet a little bit, maybe rotate the ankles. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees go wide, and come into reclining butterfly. You can stay here for Shavasana if you'd like, or go ahead and just extend both legs long. Just make yourself comfortable. And ready, slowly roll over to one side. And make your way to a comfortable seat. Gather your hands at heart center. Thank you for coming to yoga class this morning and for sharing your yoga practice with me. The spirit and the light and the divine energy in me honors and bows to the spirit and the light and the divine energy in each of you. Namaste.